Everyone, welcome to the show. So, by now, you guys have likely heard about the train derailment in the state of Ohio, but there's a lot that mainstream media is leaving out of this story, depending on which party they support. So, I wanted to give you guys more details because this isn't just a story about an accident. Although the National Transportation Safety Board is blaming this derailment on a wheel bearing that became overheated, the truth of the matter is this derailment is the result of corporate greed and the fact that our elected leaders on both sides of the aisle are complicit in putting profits ahead of people every single day. And for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, real quick, I'll sum it up. February 3rd, about 50 cars derailed off of the train tracks in a city that's within the state of Ohio. It borders the state of Pennsylvania. About a dozen of those derailed train cars contain numerous dangerous substances, which are known carcinogens. And the cars were on fire. There, you could see the flames before the derailment. So the chemicals were filling up the air. And yet it wasn't until 2 days later that the authorities ordered everybody out of the area, about, upwards of like 5,000 residents they ordered to evacuate. The governor told them, quote, "You need to leave. You just need to leave. This is a matter of life and death." This is not a small thing to ask of residents who aren't wealthy. These people, are working class Americans. So questions started to arise about surrounding areas, also about the water. The authorities have assured everyone, oh, there's no risk. It's not a big deal. You can start coming back. But then animals started to die. Approximately 3,500 fish were found dead in local waterways. And then residents started to report that their pets were becoming ill. Some of them died. A woman had to put her cat to sleep because no one could help her. She didn't have the money to save her cat's life. Her cat was suffering. So this is very serious. This is very dangerous. And residents who've tried to return to their home say there's still this overwhelming, disgusting odor. One woman described it as burnt tires and nail polish. So the risk of residents developing cancer in this area has shot through the roof. And what's clear is that this was preventable. The first and most obvious issue that everyone on the left is pointing to is Donald Trump's reversal of an Obama-era safety requirement for cargo trains. The Obama administration tried to implement a rule that any train carrying hazardous flammable materials had to have what they call electronically controlled pneumatic brakes, ECP for short. The Federal Railroad Administration has said that ECP brakes are, quote, capable of preventing derailments and shortening train stopping distances. But Republicans were in control of Congress when Obama tried to get this bill implemented. And South Dakota Republican Senator, a man named John Thune, he led the effort to try to stall this out, tried to stall implementing this change. Thune was able to hold off. He was able to put a hold on this ruling. He said, we need to obtain all these different appraisals and these cost analysis from the Transportation Research Board, the Government Accountability Office, the Secretary of Transportation. So before any of this was complete, before this rule was implemented, Trump was put in office. In his first year in office, the Trump administration rescinded Obama's rule. So this derailed train was not fitted with those ECP brakes because Trump's transportation secretary, Elaine Chao, wife of Mitch McConnell, she determined, or her department determined, quote, the expected benefits do not exceed the expected costs. I don't think the people of Ohio and Pennsylvania would agree with her right now. But here's the thing. It's not just the Trump administration's fault. Obama's administration made the decision that these specific types of chemicals that this train was carrying didn't have to be listed as flammable, dangerous substances. So that was his administration's mistake. Then Trump comes in, compounds it with this brake safety rule reversal. And then there's Pete Buttigieg in the Biden administration. He has done nothing to reinstate the rule about the brakes or to make railroad safety a priority. In fact, you guys may know this. The Biden administration, not so long ago, prevented railroad workers from going on strike. They literally forced them to take a shitty contract that didn't in any way or shape or form address their concerns. They wanted sick leave. They wanted time off. This railroad and so many others say, oh, you have to put in 30 days notice to get a sick day off. How exactly do you know that you're going to be sick in a month? And safety issues were a big part of the rail workers' fight. They warned that the greed of these railroad companies would result in tragedy because companies just like this one, Norfolk Southern, they have slashed their workforce by 30%, this particular company. They're working these people to the bone, to the point of exhaustion. They've cut corners left and right when it comes to safety measures. I heard an interview just recently with the leader in the rail worker movement and a leader in the movement. And he said, I haven't independently verified this, but he said that inspectors now have 90 seconds in which to check the underside of a train in between trains taking off for their destination. 90 seconds. Meanwhile, these companies are raking in the profits. Norfolk Southern made $12.7 billion last year. They're paying out huge bonuses to their executives. They're using their massive profits to do stock buybacks to boost their share price. They give out this little bit in an increase in wages to their rail workers, but the rail workers said, yeah, that's great. We'll take the money, but we want to have a life. We need to have time off more than once a month. Nobody's listening to them. And when pressed for answers, Buttigieg blamed Trump. He blames Trump, acts like he can't personally do anything about it, even though he's the transportation secretary. Then he reaches into his empty suit and he pulls out identity politics. He started talking about how there's not enough diversity in construction or railroads or something like that. Seriously? And now he's calling for higher fines for safety violations. How about we prevent the violations? How about we force the companies to increase the number of crew members on each train? How about that, so that they can keep an eye on them? How about if you force them to install the ECP brakes? Allow their workers to actually take time off without the risk of being fired, so that they're not half asleep while they're transporting these dangerous chemicals. The truth is, there is blame to go around because these companies lobby lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. According to Open Secrets, Norfolk Southern paid lobbyists $1.8 million last year. Think of how much they'd have to save in profit. Think of the return that they're expecting to justify $1.8 million to lobbyists. And we haven't even talked yet about the fact that these cancer-causing chemicals shouldn't even exist to begin with. The chemicals on that train are used to make plastic. Plastic that is everywhere in our modern lives. So we also have to take issue with agencies like the EPA and the FDA. They know that these chemicals cause cancer. So why are they allowed in our society? And this is something I wrote about in my book. When these agencies assess the safety of a particular substance, they're only reviewing the risk of that specific substance by itself. What they don't take into consideration is the fact that people are being exposed to multiple chemicals all throughout the day, from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed. they don't take into account the cumulative effect, which is absolutely overwhelming to the human body. But again, this is the result of lobbyists. This is the result of the revolving door between government agencies and the corporate world. And when billions or even trillions of dollars are at stake, they simply don't care. They don't care about human lives. And in regard to the train derailment, thousands of lives are likely to be ruined now. Think about it. The residents are being told, oh, the drinking water's safe. Oh, you can bathe in it. Not a problem. We already know the fish are dead, but now it was just revealed that the water test that they're basing this on, yeah, that was paid for by Norfolk Southern. So, gee, do you think maybe that they have a stake in this? They have a reason to lie? Would you trust them? So, what are these people going to do? If they can't return to their homes, how do they maintain employment? How do they maintain income? And it's not as if they can just sell their homes and move out, move somewhere else. Who the hell is going to want to purchase a house in this area now? And then think about going back to the chemical aspect. Those chemicals were on their way somewhere, to a plant, to a facility where other human beings were going to have to be in contact with those chemicals, working with those chemicals every single day as their job to create these products. And then we wonder why our cancer rates in this country are absolutely out of control. I don't hate capitalism, in general, but when it comes to greed, when it comes to putting profits over people, yeah, that is when I 100% feel like capitalism, it just sucks. It has failed us, and it's never going to work long term, because you have to care about people. You have to care about the environment. You have to care about what's going on in this country that is making everyone so sick, that is making everyone depressed, and high rates of suicide, committing, mass murders. We have to look at all of this. We have to take all of this into consideration. You think that these chemicals that we're surrounded by, that we're inundated by every day, day in, day out, 24 hours a day, in every product that we use, doesn't affect people's brains? It's impossible. So anyway, guys, don't mean to get off topic. I think it's all connected and related. And so that's why this story is just pissing me off to no end, because people, like I said, in media, they have their angle. They want to talk about, oh, it's Biden's fault. Oh, it's Trump's fault. Oh, it's, Obama's fault. No, it's all of them. All three of them failed the people of Ohio. It is that simple. So, I wish for them the best. I hope and pray that the government is now going to step up and help them with everything that they need, because that's what they deserve. And, the government fucked up, and now they need to step up. So anyway, guys, when I hear more, I will let you know. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please please share this video so others know exactly what's going on. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you can donate, it truly means the world to me. It truly helps to keep the show going. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.